One of the big parts about coming to law school was clearly getting a job. Not just a prestigious job, but one where I was at home and one where I found that the community and culture was something that fit me.
In addition to being a first-generation lawyer, I don't really have anyone to pull from. Coming into Vanderbilt, that's why I was appreciative of their career services, of student organization lunches and opportunities to really understand what different practice areas could look like.
I came into law school having a fairly clear idea that I wanted to do public interest work, and I was really curious about public defense work. I was able to connect with the public interest office to really help me figure out how do I actually get my foot in the door and how do I make public interest into a real career.
Going into law school, I knew I wanted to hopefully secure a clerkship, and that was part of what drew me to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt had great clerkship numbers the past years before I applied. I pursued that sort of from day one.
I was really interested in a clerkship because I know that I want to be a trial lawyer. I'm going to be in a courtroom all the time, and I wanted to see a little bit behind the scenes, a peek behind that curtain, and see how did a judge really think, how did they approach making their decisions.
From the day I arrived at Vanderbilt, the law school was helping students who wanted to be able to clerk learn about those opportunities and the way to navigate that. My professors were very willing to talk with me about those opportunities, provide letters of recommendation after I developed relationships with them in their classes, and then also providing some guidance about how to go about the interview process, how to apply, and how to reach out to people.
At Vanderbilt Law School, my career services team, my career services officer really took the extra mile to go as far as I wanted to go. I was able to make a detailed plan with him, come in at will, sometimes early on Thursdays and Friday mornings, and really show him this is where I want to go, this is what my resume looks like.
Career services started day one orientation. I was provided support as to what should my resume look like. One-on-one support, counseling, and editing my resume once I got a draft going. And week by week, panels of different lawyers from different job markets, job types, just coming in and talking about, this is what I do for a living.
I wanted to go to a school where I knew they took public interest work seriously. I have found that the public interest office has expanded even more. I really value our dean and how she is always bringing more speakers and people who are doing really incredible work out in the world to come and share that.
I never felt like I was competing with my classmates for jobs. Because we truly have a nationwide reach, I knew that I could go somewhere and my friends would be supportive, I would have alumni there, and I would also be able to support my friends in wherever they wanted to go.
I have plenty of friends who are going across the country to New York, to California, to Florida.
No matter where I go, I always find Vanderbilt Law grads, and I knew that if I went to some schools that were focused in one state, I might be geographically limited. But coming to Vanderbilt, I did not feel that way at all. I felt like if I wanted to go somewhere to any market, that option was on the table.
I will be clerking for Judge Cole in the Federal District Court for the Southern District of Ohio next year. So I'll be moving to Cincinnati and working for him for a year. I'm really excited to see what it is like to hear from a judge directly about what looks like really great advocacy.
I told my career services team that I wanted to aim for the stars. And what I found that was unique at Vanderbilt Law School was they said, well, how high and which star do you want to hit? Thankfully, 2.5 years later, I found my home. And that is very much in large part to the dedication that the career services team here at Vanderbilt Law School put into me.
So as a first-year student, after my first semester, I applied to work for judges in Washington, D.C., and I was able to receive an internship on the district court in D.C. And then once I was back in Nashville during the school year, I worked for a justice on the Tennessee Supreme Court during the semester. Throughout the process, I was able to reach out to some Vanderbilt alumni who had clerked, and that alumni network was very helpful for being able to talk through who should I be reaching out to, which judges might be a good fit, and recognizing those opportunities.
I encourage you to come into law school with an open mind as to what you might want to do. Take as many experiential classes as possible. Figure out what that law looks like in practice. Figure out what you don't want to do by doing the thing first. And then you can be confident when you finally make your decision, when you finally choose your career path, that's what you want to do.